Hey everyone! Welcome back. 12 subtle signs. She might be seeing someone else. A Stoic approach. Host on camera, serious but calm demeanor. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." But what happens when the person you've built that life with might be building another one behind your back? Today we're going to explore 12 subtle signs that she might be seeing someone else. But here's the difference. We're not going to approach this with paranoia, jealousy, or desperation. We're going to use the ancient wisdom of Stoicism to navigate these treacherous waters with dignity, clarity, and strength. I'm going to share with you the subtle, behavioral changes that even the most skilled deceivers can't completely hide, and more importantly, how to respond to them like the strong, rational man you are meant to be. But before we dive in, I need you to understand something crucial. This isn't about becoming paranoid or controlling. This is about developing the awareness and emotional intelligence that will serve you in all areas of life, whether you're currently in a relationship, recently single, or preparing for your next chapter. This knowledge will transform how you see human behavior. If you're ready to see the truth clearly and respond with wisdom, instead of emotion, hit that subscribe button now and ring the notification bell. Let's get started. Section 1. The Stoic Foundation. Before we examine the signs, we need to establish the proper mindset. The Stoics taught us that we cannot control what others do. We can only control our responses. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, faced betrayal from those closest to him. His wife Faustina was rumored to have multiple affairs. Yet he never let this destroy his inner peace or compromise his principles. He understood a fundamental truth. Another person's actions reflect their character, not yours. The first Stoic principle we'll apply today is the dichotomy of control. You cannot control her actions, her feelings, her choices, her loyalty, but you can control your observations, your responses, your decisions, your self-respect. I learned this the hard way. 3 years ago, I was in a relationship where I ignored obvious signs because I was afraid of the truth. I wasted months in denial, sacrificing my peace of mind and self-respect. If I had applied Stoic principles then, I would have saved myself tremendous pain and emerged stronger. Epictetus reminds us that our power lies not in preventing betrayal, but in how we respond to it. Today you're going to learn both how to recognize the signs and how to maintain your dignity, regardless of what you discover. Drop a comment below telling me, have you ever ignored obvious signs because you were afraid of the truth? You're not alone, and by the end of this video, you'll never have to make that mistake again. Section 2. Sign Communication Patterns. Let's start with the most subtle yet telling category: changes in communication patterns. These are often the first indicators, because communication is the foundation of any relationship. Sign 1. The delayed response pattern. She used to respond to your messages within minutes. Now, hours pass before you hear back, but her social media shows she's been active. The Stoic approach isn't to confront immediately, it's to observe patterns. Here's what this might look like. You text her at 2 p.m. asking about dinner plans. She doesn't respond until 8 p.m. with a simple, "Sorry, was busy." But you notice she posted an Instagram story at 4 p.m. and liked several posts throughout the afternoon. Seneca taught us, every guilty person is his own hangman. Don't interrogate. Don't accuse. Simply observe and note the pattern. One instance means nothing. A consistent pattern means everything. Sign 2. The emotional distance in conversations. Her responses become increasingly surface level. She used to share details about her day, her thoughts, her dreams. Now conversations feel like talking to a polite stranger. Before, I had such a weird day. My boss was being impossible. And then Sarah and I got into this whole thing about the project, and I kept thinking about what you said about standing up for myself. After a day was fine, you? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Observe constantly that all things take place by change. Change is natural, But dramatic shifts in communication patterns aren't random. They're responses to internal changes. Sign 3, the defensiveness spike. She becomes defensive about topics that never bothered her before. Simple questions about her day or plans trigger disproportionate reactions. You, how was your evening with the girls? Her, why are you questioning me? Can't I have friends? You're being so controlling lately. When faced with defensiveness, the Stoic approach is remain calm and composed. Don't escalate the conflict. Note the disproportionate response. Trust your intuition while maintaining rationality. Have you noticed any of these communication changes? Remember, we're not jumping to conclusions. We're gathering data. Like a scientist studying behavior, we observe without immediate judgment. These communication signs are just the beginning. Next, we're going to explore the physical and behavioral changes that are even harder to fake. Section 3. Sign. Physical and behavioral changes. The ancient Stoics understood that the body often reveals what the mind tries to hide. These next 3 signs focus on physical and behavioral changes that are nearly impossible to fake consistently. Sign 4, the sudden appearance upgrade. She's suddenly very concerned with her appearance in situations that don't involve you. New clothes, new workout routine, new attention to grooming, but not for date nights with you. She spends an hour getting ready for a casual coffee with coworkers, but throws on sweatpants for your dinner date. She buys expensive perfume, but only wears it when going out without you. Epictetus taught that we should attach yourself to what is spiritually superior, regardless of what other people think or do. Don't let her behavior change your standards or self-worth. A woman who truly values you will want to look good for you, not despite you. Now here's crucial context. Self-improvement isn't inherently suspicious. If she's bettering herself and including you in that journey, it's positive. If she's bettering herself while excluding you, that's the red flag. Sign 5, the phone fortress. Her phone becomes Fort Knox. Face-down placement. Immediate flipping when notifications come in. Bathroom trips with her phone, and sudden password changes. Watch for these specific behaviors. Phone never leaves her hand or sight. Texting while you're talking, then quickly putting it away. Stepping away to take calls that used to be normal. Nervous laughter when you get near her phone. Sudden interest in phone privacy when it was never an issue. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "How much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does." While this might seem contradictory, it means don't become obsessed with surveillance. Trust your observations, but don't sacrifice your peace of mind. Sign 6, the energy shift. This is perhaps the most subtle but telling sign. Her energy around you changes. She might be more irritable, distracted, or conversely, overly nice in a way that feels forced. Scenario A, the irritable shift. Everything you do annoys her. Your jokes aren't funny. Your habits are suddenly problems. She picks fights over trivial things. Scenario B, the guilty overcompensation. She's suddenly extra affectionate. Buying you gifts, being unusually agreeable. This can be guilt-driven behavior. Seneca reminds us, the guilty think all talk is of themselves. Both extreme irritability and overcompensation can indicate internal guilt and conflict. Take a moment to honestly assess. Has her energy toward you changed? Not day-to-day mood changes. We all have those, but a fundamental shift in how she interacts with you. These physical and behavioral changes are often accompanied by changes in social patterns, and that's where our next 3 signs come into play. Section 4, sign, social and schedule changes. The Stoics understood that we are social beings, and our relationships reflect our priorities. These next signs focus on how her social world and schedule might be shifting away from you. Sign 7, the mysterious new social circle. She suddenly has new friends you've never met or rarely talks about. These aren't work colleagues you know about or old friends rekindling connections. These are mysterious new people who seem to occupy significant time in her life. Vague references, going out with some friends instead of specific names, resistance to you meeting these new friends. Stories about these friends that don't quite add up. Sudden interest in activities or places that align with someone else's interests. Don't demand to meet every friend or track her social calendar. But a healthy relationship involves some integration of social circles. If she's actively keeping you separate from significant parts of her life, ask yourself why. Sign 8. The schedule inconsistencies. Her explanations for where she's been or what she's doing don't align with evidence, or she becomes vague about details that used to be specific. Before, I'm meeting Sarah at that new cafe on 5th Street at 7 p.m., then we might catch the 9:30 movie. After, I'm going out for a bit. Not sure how long I'll be. She says she was at the gym, but her hair and makeup are perfect. Or she says she was shopping but comes home empty-handed and can't remember what store she visited. Marcus Aurelius taught, observe constantly that all things take place by change, and accustom yourself to consider that the nature of the universe loves nothing so much as to change. Change is natural, but inconsistencies in basic facts aren't about change. They're about deception. Sign 9. The availability paradox. She's less available for you, but seems to have plenty of time for other activities. Plans with you get canceled or postponed, but she's never too busy for these mysterious other commitments. Can't make your dinner date, but posts about impromptu plans with friends. Too tired for intimacy with you, but has energy for late-night activities elsewhere. Can't join you for events you've planned, but can spontaneously join others. When faced with the availability paradox, 1. Don't compete for her time. A woman who wants to be with you will make time for you. 2. Don't lower your standards. Maintain your expectations for how you deserve to be treated. 3. Focus on your own availability. Are you making yourself too available? Scarcity creates value. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." Don't become poor in spirit by begging for scraps of attention from someone who should be eager to give it freely. Let me ask you something. When was the last time she proactively made plans with you? When was the last time she seemed genuinely excited about spending time together? Your answer to these questions might be more revealing than you think. These social and schedule changes often coincide with changes in intimacy and emotional connection. And that brings us to perhaps the most telling signs of all. Section 5. Sign intimacy and emotional shifts. These final 3 signs deal with intimacy and emotional connection. I want to approach this maturely and respectfully, as these are the most painful signs to recognize, but also the most important to understand. Sign 10, the intimacy decline. Physical intimacy becomes less frequent, less passionate, or feels mechanical. She might go through the motions but seem mentally absent. This isn't about keeping score or having unrealistic expectations. Every relationship has natural fluctuations. This is about recognizing when intimacy feels more like an obligation than a desire. Avoiding physical touch in general, not just sexual. Seeming distracted or disengaged during intimate moments. Making excuses consistently rather than having honest conversations about needs. Showing no interest in rekindling physical connection. Epictetus taught, wealth consists in not having great possessions, but in having few wants. Don't beg for intimacy from someone who's not enthusiastic about sharing it with you. Your dignity is worth more than temporary physical connection. Sign 11, the future fade. She stops talking about future plans that include you. Conversations about upcoming events, goals, or dreams no longer naturally include you as part of the picture. She used to say, we should visit that place. Now it's, I want to visit that place. Holiday plans become vague or she seems reluctant to commit. Career decisions are made without considering how they affect your relationship. She stops talking about relationship milestones or long-term goals. Marcus Aurelius wrote, confine yourself to the present. While this teaches us to live in the moment, it doesn't mean ignoring reasonable future planning. A woman who sees you in her future will naturally include you in her plans. Sign 12, the emotional wall. This is perhaps the most subtle but devastating sign. She becomes emotionally unavailable, not just to you, but about you. She stops sharing her feelings, stops asking about yours, and conversations become purely transactional. No more deep conversations about life, dreams, fears, or aspirations. She doesn't seek your comfort during difficult times. She doesn't share her excitement about good news. Conversations feel like business meetings rather than intimate exchanges. She shows no curiosity about your inner world. Seneca observed, "The willing, destiny guides them. The unwilling, destiny drags them." You cannot force someone to be emotionally present. You can only decide whether you'll accept emotional absence as the new normal. Here's what's crucial to understand. These signs rarely appear in isolation. If you're seeing multiple signs consistently over time, you're not being paranoid, you're being observant. Communication becomes distant, signs 1 to 3. Physical behavior changes, signs 4-6. Social life shifts away from you, signs 7 to 9. Intimacy and emotional connection fade, signs 10 to 12. The Stoics taught us that wisdom comes from seeing reality clearly, not from seeing what we wish were true. If you're recognizing multiple signs, the question isn't whether something is happening, it's how you're going to respond. And that brings us to the most important part of this entire discussion. How do you respond to these signs with strength, dignity, and wisdom? Section 6, the Stoic Response Framework. Now comes the crucial part. You've recognized the signs. You've gathered the evidence. Your intuition is telling you something is wrong. How do you respond like a man of strength and wisdom? Phase 1, the internal assessment. Before you confront anyone else, you must first confront yourself. Ask these hard questions. Am I being objective or emotional? List specific behaviors you've observed, not feelings or suspicions. Have I contributed to this situation? Without excusing her behavior, honestly assess whether you've been the best version of yourself. What outcome do I actually want? Do you want to save the relationship or just get answers? Epictetus taught, know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. Before you can address her behavior, you must be clear about your own values and standards. If you've identified multiple signs consistently, you have two choices. Continue living in uncertainty or seek clarity through direct communication. Choose the right time and place, private, calm environment when you're both clear-headed. State observations, not accusations. I've noticed, instead of "you're doing," ask open-ended questions. Help me understand. Rather than "why did you," listen more than you speak. Give her the opportunity to explain. Stay calm regardless of her response. Your composure is your power. I've noticed some changes in our relationship lately, and I want to understand what's happening. I've observed specific behaviors, and I'm feeling disconnected from you. Can you help me understand what's going on? Her response will tell you everything you need to know. She acknowledges your feelings, provides honest explanations, and shows willingness to work on the relationship. She becomes angry, accuses you of being controlling or paranoid, or tries to turn the conversation back on you. She denies obvious facts, makes you question your own observations, or provides explanations that don't add up. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Regardless of her response, maintain your dignity. Don't match anger with anger or deception with deception. Based on her response and your values, you have clear choices. If she acknowledges issues and shows genuine commitment to change, you can work together to rebuild trust. If she's dismissive, deceptive, or shows no remorse, you may need to end the relationship. Seneca taught, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor. Don't become poor in spirit by accepting less than you deserve. Choosing truth over comfort. Maintaining your standards regardless of her response. Not trying to convince someone to value you. Making decisions based on actions, not words. Preserving your self-respect above all else. Whether you choose to repair or end the relationship, there are crucial steps you must take to emerge stronger from this experience. Section 7. Moving forward with strength. Regardless of what you've discovered or decided, this experience is an opportunity for growth. The Stoics believed that every challenge contains the seeds of wisdom and strength. The Stoic approach to relationship repair. To establish clear boundaries. What behaviors are acceptable and which are deal breakers going forward? 2. Focus on actions, not promises. Words are cheap. Sustained behavioral change is valuable. 3. Maintain your independence. Don't become a monitor or investigator. Focus on your own growth. 4. Set a timeline for improvement. Relationships require investment from both parties within a reasonable time frame. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. If you're rebuilding, you're creating something new, not returning to something old. The Stoic approach to ending a relationship. 1. Make the decision cleanly. No drawn-out drama or attempts to punish her. 2. Communicate your decision clearly. She deserves to know where you stand. 3. Focus on your future, not her past. Don't waste energy on what she did. Invest it in what you'll become. 4. Learn the lessons. What will you do differently in your next relationship? Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight. Endings are natural parts of life, not failures. Whether you're currently in a relationship or not, here are the key takeaways. Your subconscious often picks up on patterns before your conscious mind does. Don't ignore persistent feelings that something is wrong. Never compromise your core values to keep someone who doesn't value you. Self-respect is not negotiable. You cannot control another person's choices, but you can control your responses and decisions. Learn to read people's behavior, not just their words. Actions reveal true intentions. The best protection against betrayal is having a strong sense of self that doesn't depend on anyone else's validation. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Whether you've been betrayed or not, your response defines your character and determines your future. Use this experience to develop better communication skills, strengthen your emotional resilience, clarify your relationship values and standards, build a more fulfilling, independent life, become more attractive to high-quality partners. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Your happiness and peace of mind cannot depend on another person's faithfulness. Build a life so strong and fulfilling that betrayal becomes inconvenient, not devastating." We began this journey with Marcus Aurelius's wisdom about finding happiness within yourself. Now you understand that recognizing these signs isn't about becoming paranoid or controlling. It's about developing the awareness and strength to navigate relationships with wisdom and dignity. Remember, you cannot control whether someone stays faithful to you, but you can control whether you live with integrity, maintain your standards, and respond to challenges with strength. If this video helped you see your situation more clearly, hit that like button and subscribe for more content on building mental strength and navigating relationships with wisdom. Leave a comment telling me which of these signs resonated most with you. Remember, awareness is the first step toward making better decisions. Whether you're currently dealing with these signs or preparing yourself for future relationships, you now have the tools to respond like a man of strength and wisdom. That's what separates the weak from the strong, not avoiding difficult situations, but handling them with dignity. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss content that could change your life. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and remember, your peace of mind is in your hands.